Today, we've got a beautiful 3 points to the orange and blue. Today, we've got Kenta joining me, and we're gonna break it down. As you can see, the headline, we ended Atlanta's unbeaten streak at home. So to it, Kenta, thank you for joining me today. Um, so we'll start with best and the worst. What is the best and the worst from this game for you? Um, For those of you that were not in the watch along over my channel, Kenta predicted a 3-1 loss for the orange and blue. And that's not even like bold to say, honestly. That's a fine prediction. Um, I honestly was kind of surprised that we did clinch the win. I predicted a 1-0, but it's just because I'm optimistic and I don't like predicting losses. um, uh, but yeah, great result, honestly. And as Kenta said, goals, love to see it. Um, a little bit of a weaker starting 11 to begin, but and the three that came on, they came on after Atlanta took the lead 1-0. So I'm just gonna say the win was a great game. Good game. I think he had a great game. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, my worst, aside from the Hagler thing, obviously that's terrible, dude. Again, those of you that were watching the watch along, such a, as everyone does, such a soft spot for Nick, and to see him go down, it's just like, oh my gosh, dude, that's horrible. Um, but my worst, I'm probably gonna say the flanks still look super vulnerable on the like stream. Attacking wise, oh, so fun to watch today. Yedlin, I could watch that guy play all day long in our system. The crosses, the switches, oh, big Yedlin guy. Luca had a great game as well, and the goal. It, did what were you saying about that in the group chat? I said something about like, oh, that didn't count as a save. It was the one where it, like looked like it hit off the post, but also Brad. It was a crazy. Oh, in the game. My allergies are kicking my butt right now, so I had to get super like, I had to hype myself up and take a nap before the game. It was something else. Anyways, looking at the stats, Expected goals for Atlanta. Oh, we'll watch back. It's not a week with a live stream without technical difficulties. Anyways, um, we'll keep going. What was I saying? Oh, the expected goals. 2.18 for Atlanta. And I think I recall the commentator was talking about like the first chance, the save of the first half. Um, it was like 0.74 of the expected goals for Atlanta. And I was actually kind of shocked that we had two expected goals. Funny. Right? Apparently, I heard I was scrolling through X at halftime, and I read yours as well. But then the commentators, at like coming back to the broadcast during halftime, they were talking about apparently the ref didn't exercise that correctly with Miles.
Along the lines of that. Um, I don't. The wording isn't very isn't very clear on if there's exceptions to the rule outside of goalkeepers and when a card is issued, and the card wasn't issued. I don't think on that play.
I don't think so, no.
Like I don't recall card being issued because the rule itself in text it says exceptions to the off field treatment rule include instances of potential head injury, which that wasn't. Goalkeeper injuries, which it wasn't. Serious medical events, which I don't think that was a would classify into the serious medical events area, right? And then fouls resulting in yellow or red cards, which that didn't happen. So it doesn't fit into any of those criteria. So I don't know. I don't. If the case is that if a trainer doesn't come over within the 15 seconds, then you don't have to go off. That just feels like it defeats the whole point of the rule to begin with.
Yeah.
Of um, I thought the rule was there to prevent people from kind of milking fouls that weren't actually serious. But
Yeah.
if that exception is there, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of that rule. If that's the case, so I don't know. We'll look into it. I'm sure Weeby will go over it and instant review. If he doesn't, I'll tweet at him. But
Your own instant review series.
no, you don't want to see that. You do not want to see that.
Yes.
Horrible editing.
Also, I think I fixed your audio. It's on me. I didn't switch the audio and it automatically connected to my AirPods audio. So you guys should be able to hear Kenta now. If you don't, I don't have a Scooby as to what's going on. But I switched the audio. Basically, we were just talking about the stats. Kenta was just, spitting knowledge. Talking about the shots. I guess you guys could kind of follow if you could hear me, because everyone was saying you can't hear Kenta. So I'm assuming you could hear me. So apologies for that. Again, second week doing it, still figuring it out. Yes, he can hear us. All right, cool. Come on. Problem solved. W. All right. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know. Again, if there's any technical difficulties, please just let it fly in the chat. Like, just let me know, man. Anyways, sorry. We'll keep kicking on. So let me get your thoughts going forward. I'll talk about it a little bit once we get you out of here. But next 3 games, Colorado at home next weekend, Orlando away, and Hell is Real is technically on the horizon. What are your thoughts, confidence levels for the team, especially after tonight?
Colorado. I have not been able to make out what to expect from this team. Probably had the biggest offseason in all of MLS, bringing back former MLS All-Star Georgia Mihailovic, bringing on Zach Steffen. It was a big offseason for them. And they've had good results. Like, they won at Salt Lake, and Salt Lake's one of the teams I think is really good this year. They beat LAFC at home, and they're currently playing Dallas right now. But they've also had results that make you, like, they lost 4-1 in the season opener, I think, in Portland, and it was like head scratcher at times. So based off of recent form, I think they're a really good team. You know, they have quality players, but it's always with those Western Conference, Eastern Conference, Interconference match games where it's like it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, like the 3-point swing over the 6-point swing in the table. I don't think it's a big deal what the result is. You want to get a result at home, but that's probably the least of my worries in terms of matchups. And you go into Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And Orlando is another really tough place to win in. I don't think they won. It was a draw last year, right? In Orlando.
That was early on, I think. No,
it's always been early on because I think 22 they won 2-1 in Orlando in like March, and then the next year they went there again in March and drew 0-0.
Mm.
So Orlando's, I think, a good side, but you don't know. They just played Montreal, and Montreal drew 2-2 this past week, and Montreal beat Cincinnati. So if you were to do that math, it is what it is. But another tough match, and then obviously Hell is Real is, it's chaotic. Yeah, I mean, and then I guess you face Atlanta again the following week. So so it's 4 matches. I don't know. Are you happy with how many points would you be happy with within that stretch?
I'll focus on a 3 just because that's what I have in the notes here. I would really like us to see, the home form kick in. So 3 points from Colorado would be awesome. Orlando, they haven't had the hottest of starts this year, though.
They haven't. But they've still been good. I don't think they've lost in a couple games now.
Would you say we're in a similar boat?
To Orlando, no. Orlando had a horrible start to the year. They didn't win until March.
Oh, really?
March. So they,
that bad.
At least in MLS play, they started the season draw against Montreal, 5-0 loss to Miami, which I think is memorable for a lot of people that watched that match. 3-2 loss to Minnesota, and then 2-0 loss in Atlanta, followed by win, draw, win, draw. It's their last 4 games, including today. And then now they go back-to-back home games between Toronto and Cincinnati.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go need to get 3 points from Colorado. It's home. Like, I don't care how, like, I do agree that they're on the up and great off season and all that. Need 3 points at home. Orlando, I think I'm going to say another 3 points. If we keep it like going, if we keep this momentum, I don't see why we can't get 3 points in Orlando. Columbus, I'm going to keep it a buck. I think I'm going to say tie. I'm going to bite my tongue.
Draw.
I'm going to say tie.
So you expect 7 points out of 9.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sticking with it. I was optimistic tonight. I'm staying optimistic. Yeah, 7 points from 9 for the next 3. Colorado, Orlando, Hell is Real. Imagine 9 from 9.
Yeah, Carter just tweeted. Pat Noonan says that Nick Hagglund passed all the tests medically after coming out in the first half. hypothesized that it was a bone bruise, but with all the other factors, there was hesitancy to risk going forward. Will be evaluated further this week, which is great news coming out of that.
Goodness, man. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, dude, my heart like literally dropped like during the watch long. Like it looked so grim. It looked so grim. Just like his reaction, like not necessarily like the collision or anything of that.
Yeah.
But like it just the reactions looked so grim. I was so scared for him, man. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. All right. I think that's all I got for you, big guy. Do you have anything else you feel like needs to be pointed out or said?
I mean, on a personal note, I've been pretty critical, I think, of Buka's play, and I thought he played well today, receiving the ball in the higher position, advanced position. And if you dive into the numbers, I mean, 4 for 4, accurate long balls, 5 passes into the final third. Like that's kind of what you more expected out of him, to be more aggressive and to playing those balls either into the wider channels with the wing backs flying forward or hitting one of the forwards up top. And he was doing that more today, which I think helped a ton. I don't think they scored off of any of them directly, but in terms of chance creation, it looked a lot better. So credit where credit's due, I guess. And I also just don't like seeing the center back rotation that we're seeing. I mean, it was Haglund at Charlotte starting. He played that half. And then at home against Red Bulls, the following match, it was Keller starting. And then this past weekend in Montreal, it was Murphy starting. And then it's now Haglund. Like, I think I was talking to Justin Blair about this in Louisville last week, where it's understandable to like rotate through center backs, especially what happened last year where you're starting Powell at center back because of the lack of depth. But at the same time, there needs to be a level of consistency on the back line, and we don't have that at all right now. They don't have that at all. So there needs to be a better balance of the two, I think. And right now we've seen the two extremes.
Yeah.
The same set every time and then not the same set at all.
Why do you think that is? Because me personally, I don't have a clue as to why the Haglund rotation, I get it, like working them back in, but like the other stuff, I don't like.
I assume it's because they're expecting Miles Robinson to not be here in a couple months for Copa America.
Oh,
so once you lose Robinson, you're going to have to start 2 of those 3 center backs, right? And the third one's going to be your center back off the bench. So they're all going to have to play minutes then. But that's one thing. But the other thing is like you need a level of consistency now to get points now. And you're like I think FC Cincinnati sacrificed some of those points, getting only one of the last 3 because of that center back rotation. If you get a bit more consistency, I think there might be a little bit of difference there. Because I don't think any of the starters played well in their matches up until today. And I think Haglund was okay.
Today?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't play the full match, so it's unfair.
Yeah.
But I think if you look back at Charlotte and look at how Haglund played, I don't think it was anything incredible. If you look back at Red Bulls and saw how Keller played, I don't think it was good. And then if you go back to Montreal and see how Murphy played, I don't think that was good at all either. So it's also affecting the quality of play on the pitch when none of them are showing up when they're starting.
Yeah, I think the point for Nick that like just caught me off guard was like today I feel like he kind of beasted the air, and for me that was enough to be like, wow, great game from Nick today, because he didn't lose an aerial duel that I recall.
He only had one aerial duel, so statistically at least he only had one aerial duel.
What game?
I don't know. I mean, going up for headers is different from just aerial duels. I think they're slightly considered different things. He had 4 headed clearances, so it
there you go,
slightly different. But in terms, he lost both of his ground duels, committed 2 fouls, didn't draw a foul, and then it's statistically it's not as good as a game.
Yeah.
He passed the eye test in comparison, and it'll always hurt that he didn't play much. Like he didn't finish the first half because of an injury, but there needs to be a bit more consistency at the position, at that third center back position.
I agree. All right. Well, thank you for coming on and spitting the knowledge for, like the 5 minutes that you were unmuted because I'm a Muppet. But yeah, everyone go check out Kenta social on the screen. Yeah, I think that's all I got. And then we'll get into a little bit of individual breakdown and looking forward. Kenta, again, thank you for coming on. And yeah, I will see you next time.
Alrighty.
See you, big guy. All right. Nope. I have so many scenes to choose from, and I always choose the wrong flipping one. Anyways. Oh, man. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Bring it home. What the world is the world? Get this out of my face. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to expand on that defender breakdown a little bit. Matt Miazga. Interesting stuff. I don't really know what was going on. Just like that total brain fart moment earlier. Interesting. We just kind of headed it. That was that the really nice stop from Cam? I think so, if I recall correctly. Yeah, just all around the back line looks a little whatever. I don't want to drag on that for too long. But anyways, as we were talking about the upcoming matches, Colorado at home, Orlando away, and Hell is Real away. How are you guys feeling? Like I said, I'm feeling optimistic just because I'm feeling good right now. Like I said last stream, that's the beauty of these post-match reactions is the rashness. So I'm feeling good. I think we could get 7 out of 9. Maybe that changes after, the Colorado result. And it's like, ooh, maybe we squeaked by Colorado at home. I'm not going to set it in stone. It's not that deep, really. Again, 2 games in the East, 1 in the West. We got West, East, yeah, conference-wise. Sorry, not literally geographical location. It's all in the East. Can we keep the momentum going? I sure flipping hope so. This game for me was very big, I think, in the grand scheme of the season. This is a big 3 points. And to have it before this stretch of games of like what Kenta was saying, well, I don't know if you guys actually heard because I fumbled the bag with the audio tonight. But he was talking about how Colorado is actually kind of decent this year and had a great offseason with like Zach Steffen and whatnot, picking up a few other like veteran MLS pieces. So they're a good team. So to get this win in Atlanta and then go into the stretch of Colorado should be a hard game at home. Orlando, like Kenta said, you didn't hear it though, going to be a hard game. And then Hell is Real, of course, is just going to be what the world is the world. So I think it should be a great piece of momentum for us. And I really hope the lads can take it and run with it. And as Kenta said, if you're just now joining, Nick Hagelin should be okay. The initial scans and everything checked out. They're looking into it. I think he said more of like a bone bruise. So that was scary scenes. Yeah, and I pointed this out from last week's post-match. Turf. Why is it in the game? Like I was going off in my fantasy Premier League group chat about just like how in the world is there still turf in professional leagues? Anyways, yeah. Great night. 3 points. I can't ask for anything else. More than 3 points. That's Lucho looked alive in the strike partnership of Kubo and Kubo and Corey. Not too shabby. 2 goals and 3 points on the night. So my overall rating of tonight's game, I give it like 8.5. I'm feeling good. Yeah, that's all I got. Again, I'm sorry, guys. The audio, I'm a Muppet. I fumbled. But we're getting better. Always up. I think is that another MLS team saying? I hope not. Also, Colorado, Calvin Harris homecoming. Come on. Yep. I meant to bring that up, and then I got carried away thinking about just the other games. But yeah, Calvin Harris, not the DJ, the winger, coming home. All right. I'll leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the 3 points. Yeah, that's all I got. Make sure you tune in to the Monday show, 9 o'clock, I believe. Sorry, my brain's not working. Tune into the Monday show, see what the guys got cooking, and good vibes all around, honestly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that came over from the watch along. And yeah, we will see you again 2 weeks time-ish. Enjoy the match at home if you're going. Stay safe. And yeah, in a bit, guys. Thank you. Peace.